This review has been made possible by Chevrolet of Naperville. As you know, Chevy has tons of brand new cars and trucks available for purchase, but did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to ChevroletofNaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2019 Ford Mustang Shelby GT350. Up front is a 5.2 liter V8 and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. This video is sponsored by CarMarshal.com. If you'd like to support the channel, click the link down in the description below. CarMarshal.com advertises for over 100,000 vehicles across the US. Let's get back to that 5.2 liter V8. It is not the standard Coyote found in the GTs or the 5.0 liter Mustangs. This is the 5.2. It is a flat plane crank. It is the highest horsepower naturally aspirated motor that Ford has ever put out, as well as it is the highest revving motor that Ford has ever put out with an 8,200 RPM redline. This thing breathes fire. All right, guys, 5.2 liter flat plane crank V8. We're gonna put the exhaust mode into sport, suspension into sport. Steering is already in sport. I'm not going to launch it because this is a used car, but let's get on the throttle a little bit. Oh my goodness. This thing is very powerful. That is not any, question here. Oh man. But the interesting thing about it, the weirdness, the part that doesn't quite make sense to me is that it has an 8,200 RPM redline. It doesn't feel natural. I feel like I should shift. I feel like I should shift. I feel like I should shift. And I don't have to because it just keeps going to the moon. Oh my gosh. This is really a Mustang built around that 5.2 liter. Oh my God. Like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission. I like the feeling of it. It's real notchy. It's real tight. It feels good. And the clutch is actually not heavy at all. It has a slight spring at first, but once you get into it, it's smooth all the way through, and I really like that. That was my complaint with older Mustangs, is that the shift feel never really felt right. As you might have saw, I just jolted forward. I forgot that this car has insane Brembo brakes. Yes, this has Brembos that are absolutely insane. I'm hyperventilating a little bit. This is not how I thought my Friday would go when I started the week. But when I saw this car pop up on Chevy's website, I knew that it was going to be a very, very good week. Last but not least, of course, as you guys know, the Mustang is, of course, rear-wheel drive with that independent rear suspension. No more solid rear axles for the Mustang. So let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have two beautiful gauges. On the left is the tachometer, and on the right, speedometer. And then in the middle, I do have a screen. I absolutely love the Ford performance pages that they give these higher trim vehicles. Is my complaint about the Focus ST that they didn't really give that the nice treatment, but this, the RS, they definitely have the treatment. So we can go to gauge mode. We can look at literally anything: engine oil temperature, trans oil temperature, axle oil temperature, engine oil pressure, air fuel ratio, inlet air temperature, cylinder head temperature, voltage, or just my miles per hour in digits, my tire pressure, and then we're back to the rest of the gauges. Wow, a lot of stuff going on there, and I really like that in the center screen. Then on the steering wheel, we have volume controls, our suspension settings, steering settings, and mode, and then on the left, just our selector dials and our phone controls. So for the suspension, we have suspension damper mode normal or sport. I'm going to leave it in normal for now because, of course, we're just doing a little review. And then steering modes, we have sport, comfort, and normal. We'll leave that in sport. I do like a sportier steering feel, and I know that it's not going to stress the vehicle out anymore. To the left of me, I just have my headlight switches, and then on the door, I have my three actually different memory settings. I do have 3 memory settings for the seats, lock and unlock, and then my mirror switches and window switches down below. Then in the center, I do have oil pressure, PSI, and oil temperature. This is really nice when you're out on the track, when you're actually racing, going forward. These are what you want to look for. Oil pressure, definitely important, and of course, oil temperature is important as well. If you're doing lap after lap after lap out at Autobahn Country Club, you're gonna start warming up, and it's always good to keep an eye on that. And I like the gauges. They're mounted pretty well. They're a little bit hard to see. It's harder to see the numbers to the left, but hopefully, you know, oil pressure and oil temperature shouldn't be at rock bottom all the time, so I guess it's not really an issue. Then we do have the Ford infotainment center. Nothing really too crazy here. I do like that you actually get a full-size screen. The interior of this car is way nicer than the 5.0 liter that I drove earlier this year, and I really, really like that. And then I have my heating and air conditioning controls, heated and cooled seats, which I am pleasantly enjoying the cooled seat right now. It's getting the sweat off my back off of the terror of driving this thing. And then I have a couple different toggle switches for hazards, traction control on and off, LC, and then exhaust. So exhaust is a normal. We'll put it into sport. It gets so much louder. Oh. Then we have the shifter. I like the shifter. Nothing really too crazy there. It's, like I said, it's really notchy, and I like it. And then I have 2 cup holders, and that's it for the center console. The seats are nice and comfortable. Like I said, heated, memory, air conditioned, power, you know, anything you really want out of a seat besides massaging features, the Mustang has. Now, speaking of seats, we will do a back seat review. Reluctantly, I hate Mustang back seats, but we got to do it. You know, when I said that I would review every back seat of any car that had fart noise, fart noise, fart noise from the seat, fart noise from the seat. When I said that I'd review any car that had a back seat, I forgot about the muscle cars, and sometimes that makes me sad. Here we go. Getting in. Hey, look at that. The back seats are garbage. Oh, that's not a surprise. Okay. Now we have to talk about the looks. This thing looks amazing. It is the best looking Mustang, I personally believe, to come out in the last 20 years. It looks amazing. It's quite frankly summed up to a word: badass. I know I don't usually swear or cuss in my videos, but I literally cannot think of another word to sum up this motor vehicle besides that. It looks great, sounds great. This thing is a total beast. And so, as we get to the end of the video, we're gonna get a little bit introspective here with the channel. I, statistically speaking, in the past have absolutely hated Mustangs. I drove a Shelby GT500 from 2007, and I thought that car was utter garbage. I literally thought it was one of the worst cars I drove that year. And so I deemed 2019 year of the redemption of the Mustangs. I felt like I did Mustangs a disservice by only driving a really crappy one. And now this is, I am going on record, this is the best Mustang ever made. 8,200 RPM redline out of a 5.2 liter flat plane crank V8. V8s aren't supposed to rev past 6. They're just not supposed to. But Ford said, screw it, we're gonna make one that does. And man, did they make one that does. Oh my gosh, this car, I cannot stop talking about it. I have no more words for this. This car is amazing. This is the best Ford Mustang ever made. And honestly, until I drive a Ford GT, this is the best Ford product I have ever driven. Ever driven. Ever driven. I'm shaking, I'm sweating. Doctors would think I had the flu, but I don't. I just have been driving a GT350. So, if you're experiencing flu-like symptoms, there's one of 2 things. You have the flu, or you own a Ford Mustang Shelby GT350. Huge thank you to Chevy of Naperville for letting me take out their used Shelby GT350. This car is amazing. Link on the screen. Definitely please go check out Chevy of Naperville. They are just the utteral best. But Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. This car leaves me speechless. Genuinely speechless. And I think literally the only thing I can do is just get out and reflect